I'm Joanna. Welcome to my channel. This is my 27th video. I don't know, I'll have to go back and check the numbers. Some of my videos have been deleted, and so I'll get that number right next time. I'm going to review 4 books, 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction. Let's get started. My first novel is Maggie, or A Man and a Woman Walk into a Bar by Katie Yee. This is the author's debut novel, and it is about a family, or the breakdown of a family, a husband, a wife, and 2 children. Sam is the husband. He initiated the breakdown. Interestingly, we don't know the wife's name throughout the novel. We do know she's Asian and her husband is white. He brings her to a restaurant and he tells her the news that he's having an affair with a white woman. So race is sprinkled throughout the story, and the story is told in the voice of the wife. So in this divorce novel, we get an understanding of the main character's challenges. She goes through breast cancer, she goes through, she has to parent separately, and these are harsh realities that we're able to sympathize and some of us empathize with. Believe it or not, there is humor intertwined throughout the story. The author is able to show us how this main character is processing the situation and how she walks on to the other side. And I really enjoyed the way the author added nuances to the story. There was a family ritual that at night that both parents would tell stories to the children. And then the wife continued to do that. And that's kind of a big deal in the story, but I learned so much. I learned about a pando tree, and I'm not going to tell you about it, but it is so fascinating. Please, please look it up. The book is well written. I enjoyed this author's prose. It felt realistic. It felt possible. And more importantly, there was triumph at the end. And so it made for a great read. I enjoyed it. I give this 4 stars. Book number 2, Endlings by Maria Reva. The setting is in Ukraine, and the author introduces one of the main characters, Yeva. She studies rare snails obsessively. So Yeva is on a quest to find funding for her research, and 2 other main characters, a pair of sisters, Sol, I think she's 20 or under, and her sister Nastia, she is about 17. They are waiting for their mother to return. Their mother left them about 8 months ago. There is a company out there in Ukraine, and they're advertising, and then they're bringing in bachelors from other countries in hopes that these bachelors will find a young bride or, at least date these girls. And, also the Ukrainian girls, they're hoping that they're open to these chauvinistic attitudes. I almost felt like that. So the 3 girls meet, and they have individual objectives, but they all decide to hijack this bus. And there are 100 bachelors from, other countries in the bus, and so that is what they do. I'm enjoying the story. I'm absorbed in this story. I'm enjoying the relationships. I'm enjoying the prose, but then the novel jumps timelines. Now we're in present day USA, and I'm reading the writer's story. In other words, the writer is writing the story that I'm reading, and so I got a little bit confused. Again, the author is Ukrainian, so we get a little bit of the political war, the situation that's going on today, and that is all very tied in and very interesting. Overall, I enjoyed this story. Learning about snails was fun. I didn't love it though. The storyline was unique, but it kind of tricked me a little bit. I give this 3.5 stars. Book number 3, The Red House by Mary Morris. This story begins in the timeline of 1960s, early 1970 period. And it is about a family well, a mother who goes missing. And her name is Viola. She's a beautiful Jewish-Italian woman. She leaves behind a husband and 2 children, Justine and Laura. So the book lays the premise there. And then it jumps timelines, goes back into the 1940s, early 1940s, and takes us to Naples, Italy. That is when the Nazis seized the city. So these are unbearable times, and we follow Viola's character, and I found her to be very self-centered, sometimes unlikable, but as the novel unfolds, we see that, or I saw that was completely an unfair perspective. So we jump back into present day, early 1970s, and Viola's older daughter, Laura, decides she wants to go to Naples, Italy, learn more about her mother, and maybe even find her. So that is the gist of the story. Laura goes back to Naples, Italy. She does find out many mysteries about her mother, what happened, and this does help her understand her own behavior. The author's prose are engaging. It's thought-provoking, there are some intimacies that are pretty graphic in the novel. Overall, this is a reminder of the perils of political power. It's a reminder of how easily our society can go awry. And it's also a reminder of our human frailties and even our strengths. It is somewhat predictable at the end, but I give this 3.5 stars. Book number 4, my nonfiction book, The Origin of Language, How We Learn to Speak and Why, by Madeleine Beekman. Madeleine Beekman is a professor of evolutionary biology and behavior ecology at the University of Sydney, Australia. This book is packed with educational information. It is expository writing, and with that, you have to come prepared and ready to learn. The book is centered around language, but the author takes us through the intricacies of the human mind. So it kind of makes for heavy reading, although in my opinion, she gives us plenty of examples. She makes it very relatable and understandable. I enjoy learning about the brain, the commonalities we share with primates and other mammals. And she shows how we barely differ from other mammals as well. There's lots to learn here about how babies learn language. It's very important for babies to learn socially and, facial expressions, things that we kind of know, but she delves into example after example. It's fascinating. The sclera, the whites of our eyes, are very, very important to language for babies. There's just so much here. I appreciate this author's expertise. She has so much knowledge to share, but she does kind of go into textbook mode sometimes. I mean, she'll use phrases and words like vocal morphology, where, we probably would get that from our classes or, some textbook. And so those things happen a lot, but overall, she does smooth it over with examples. If you have that background, or you're just very curious about language, you might just appreciate this a little bit more than others. So I enjoyed it. I give this 4 stars.